If you would, a question I'd like to ask people that have had a lot of success in this business, because the primary audience for the show is authors and publishing professionals,
Yeah.
as well as Daniel Jose Older fans today. If you could kind of let us live vicariously through you for a moment, because Shadow Shaper, as a New York Times bestseller, I think was it Publishers Weekly, made it the best book of the year. It was nominated for several other prizes. What is that experience like when you have a book in a series that just blows up like that?
Oh, thank you. Man, it's a very complicated set of emotions. I mean, obviously, it's really amazing and exciting. I think one of the hardest things to do as an author is manage expectations, and I still don't really know how to do that. I don't think any of us really do, because you're constantly trying to find the balance between like just like wanting the best and also just wanting like whatever you can get, and then just sort of being excited about good things happening and not knowing where to place those good things on the scope of your larger career trajectory. And so I think like it's sort of constantly a question of like really just living in the present and understanding that each moment is special for itself, and trying to also figure out how do they fit into the arc of my career and where I'm going from here and everything else. And with Shadow Shaper, it's my first book, so it's the first book I wrote. It was the second or third book that came out, depending on how you're counting. So I was pretty brand new with it all, and I had no idea what to expect. So it was all very like huge. It also was a slow burn type of book. It didn't come out, and it wasn't like a blow up book that just came out the gate with exceptional sales or anything else. It didn't have a huge amount of marketing behind it. It was a book that I think people really got behind on the strength of my own online presence and what I've been talking for a long time, which was about different questions of race and equity in publishing and stuff like that. And then the book itself, which people just loved and were excited about. So it didn't hit the Times list until months after it came out. And those awards all the nominations and stuff all came much later. So and I think that's that's kind of the takeaway from it for me, is that like publishing, and I know all of your writing audience knows this, publishing puts a lot of emphasis on that first week. And it is a really important week. That's the easiest week to hit the Times list in some ways, because you have all the pre-sales going for you. And so they really emphasize that. But I think it's a somewhat misplaced emphasis. Publishing, like so many things, really is much more of a marathon than a sprint. And it can be very detrimental to look at it as a sprint, because you will throw all of your energy into one thing, and then if it doesn't come out the way you hoped, feel incredibly like you've wasted a lot of time. And the truth is, you have to look at your whole career, and you have to look even beyond that at the lifespan of a whole book. And in those regards, like longevity is actually more important, to me anyway, than sudden bursts. There'll be books that explode and you never hear about a year later. What I'm most excited and happy about with Shadow Shaper is that it has very long legs, and it has a lot of durability, and I still get calls to do work around it, even though it came out 4 years ago. And that's what I'm really most proud of. But that's something that it's hard. It's not as exciting. It's not sexy like hitting the New York Times list right off the bat, which is awesome, and I certainly don't disparage that in any way. And I certainly, we all want that. That's important too, and that helps give a book long legs. I think I just want people to understand that like careers and books themselves are just long and complicated and weird things, and there's lots of different angles and stories. It's like the story of your career is a story unto itself, and that's the story you're always telling. And if we approach it creatively, instead of feeling beaten down by it, or just feeling like it's totally in someone else's hands, it can actually be very inspiring.
Thank you. That was a nice moment, I think, for all of us to go, we may or may not get to the top of the mountain, but Daniel Jose Older has been there, and he's back to share the experience with us a little bit.